A quorum of the City Council being present, I'll call tonight's meeting together. Today is December 16th, and this is the regular meeting of the Cambridge City Council. The first order of business is a roll call of the members present. Clerk LeBlanc.
Councilor Azim. Absent. Vice Mayor McGovern. Present. Councilor Nolan.
Present.
Present. Councilor Siddiqui.
Present.
Present. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler.
Present.
Present. Councilor Toner.
Present.
Present. Councilor Wilson. Absent. Councilor Zusi.
Present.
Present. Mayor Simmons.
Present.
Present. Madam Mayor, 7 members are present, 2 members are recorded as absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and let's stand for a Pledge of Allegiance and then pause for a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, adopted by the Massachusetts General Court and approved by the Governor, the City is authorized to use remote participation at meetings of the Cambridge City Council. In addition to having members of the Council participate remotely, we have also set up Zoom teleconference for public comment. You can also view the meeting via the City's open meeting portal or on the City's cable channel, Channel 22. To speak during public comment, you must sign up at www.cambridgema.gov/public comment. You can also email written comments for the record to the City Clerk at thecityclerk@cambridgema.gov. We welcome your participation, and you can sign up until 6 p.m. Please note that the City of Cambridge audio and video records the meetings and makes it available to the public for future viewing. But in addition, third parties may also be audio and video recording our meetings. We now move to public comment. Public comment is made in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20G, and the City Council Rules 23D and 37. Once you have finished speaking, the next speaker will be called. Individuals are not permitted to allocate the remainder of their time to other speakers. When speaking, please give your name, your address for the record, and the item that you're speaking to. I will now open public comment, given that there are, 3 speakers? How many?
7.
7, okay. The allocated time is 3 minutes per speaker. Ms. Stefan, I'll turn public comment over to you.
Our first speaker is Dan Totten, followed by Jim Monteverde. Dan, you have 3 minutes. Please go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Dan Totten. I live at 54 Bishop Allen Drive, and I want to talk about the minutes on the after school. I think that the data from this past year was a lot more informative, a lot more insightful than in previous years. And so I just want to compliment the staff on providing a lot more detail, particularly on the racial breakdown of who is getting served and who is not getting served, but also providing a little bit more detail about why things are happening the way they are. One of the things that's really striking about the after-school data year after year is that we're not placing 100% of our priority applicants. Priority applicants are, of course, defined as families that make 60% of AMI or less, which to me is fairly arbitrary considering inclusionary housing is at 80%, but putting that aside, 62 applicants of families that make less than 60% of AMI were not placed in the previous year, and the same number in the current year. And I just want to, give a couple examples, right? So in the Amigos Community School, 13 out of 24 priority applicants who put Amigos as their first choice were assigned to the Amigos. Meanwhile, 44 out of 79 general applicants who put Amigos as their first choice were assigned. So when I look at those numbers, that means to me that 11 priority applicants for whom Amigos was their first choice were turned away ahead of placing 44 general applicants at Amigos. And there's another example for, Gately Youth Center. 30 out of 37 priority applicants who ranked at number 1 were placed. 66 out of 78 general applicants who ranked at number 1 were placed. And what that means is that 7 priority applicants who wanted to go to the Gately Youth Center as their top choice were denied ahead of 66 general applicants who were placed. And so the question is like, why is there this margin? And this is consistent if you look at the data throughout all the schools. The question is, why is this margin exist? Why would we turn away a small handful of low-income students ahead of when we had spots available and give them to higher income? And the answer, I think, started to come out in this year's presentation, which is this concept of re-enrollment, right? And I'm totally sympathetic to this concept. If a student is placed at a certain facility, you don't want to tell them, sorry, your family makes 70% of AMI, so you have to go somewhere else or you don't get a spot. So I'm very sympathetic to that, but I also think it's still a challenge. I don't accept that we would turn away, 62 low-income applicants. I don't accept that at the Amigo School, 11 priority applicants would be turned away. And so I implore you all to address this through the upcoming budget, get to 100% acceptance of priority applicants. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony. Next speaker, please.
Our next speaker is Jim Monteverde, followed by Suzanne Blier. Jim, you have 3 minutes. Please go ahead.
Good evening. I'm Jim Monteverde, 12 Oak Street, Cambridge. I'm the chair of the Board of Zoning Appeal, and I'm here tonight to ask the council to approve the BZA dormer petition, which I believe is Policy Order 141. The board and I wanted to thank the city manager for forwarding our petition to the council and to the Ordinance Committee, Community Development and Legal Departments, Planning Board, and Historic Commission for their reviews, comments, and edits to our petition. The Zoning Board is in support of the current language of the petition and asks that the council vote to approve this revision to the zoning ordinance regarding dormers. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Next speaker.
Our next speaker is Suzanne Blier, followed by Bill Beam. Suzanne, you have 3 minutes. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Suzanne Blier, 5 Fuller Place. And let me wish you all a wonderful holiday. And I love the poinsettias. And I want to begin by just thanking you all who have met with me over the past weeks for various discussions. It really means a lot. To Dan Totten's point on the Longfellow School, my hope is that it could be reopened with more popular, better programs like Amigos. But to my agendas, agenda number 1 on appointments, these sound great. And I hope that you all recognize the fact that the past sort of attacks in council or social media on people serving on committees still has an impact. We can feel it also in anonymous comments on Cambridge Day and Reddit. And so hopefully we can come together as a community and work not to do that kind of thing. And I would also simply add that some of us, people with whom I talk, feel uncomfortable when counselors write in or speak up at these meetings because you already get to decide who are going to be the board members. So it's almost as if residents are left feeling that our voice matters less. On agenda number 2, the BZA dormers, I really strongly support this and would urge the BZA and you to come up with something similar on auxiliary dwelling units, say 3 particular models, and get them passed in a similar way that residents could use. Agenda item 3 on flexible parking. I would simply note that the cover of the Cambridge Life leads out entirely people who drive or older people, et cetera, and that 50% of the Frost Terrace residents own cars. So we've got to find a way to work this out together. On the manager's performance, I think Mr. Huang has done a really considerable job with considerable skill in troubled times. I would urge him and the city staff to have a holistic view from the Envision report, environment and housing, commerce and neighborhoods, and maybe he could have a few meetings next year with the public like he did originally. And on dedications, this is something after my own heart. I strongly support this. Would urge you to bring in the Historical Commission and the History Cambridge. This is about present but also history. Add street signs and corner names to this, and maybe create a commission that every 50 years we would review everybody on that and provide a means so that we can recognize them on the website, but possibly you could change 10% every 50 years so that we can recognize people who were left out for various reasons of the recognitions. Have a break, and thank you so much for all your work.
Thank you for your testimony.
Our next speaker is Bill Beam, followed by Dan McGuire. Bill, you have 3 minutes. Please go ahead.
Hi, Bill Beam, 69 Howard Street. I'm an architect and former member of the Board of Zoning Appeals. I'm speaking tonight about Policy Order 141. The Board of Zoning Appeals has been hearing and adjudicating citizens' requests to add dormers to their homes for many years. Dormers are the most common and economical way to create additional space to the upper floor or attic of a home. Adding space to home often allows for an additional bedroom or two, allowing growing families to remain in their homes. As the housing market has tightened and construction costs have skyrocketed, the ZBA has seen increasing requests for dormers to the point where it's the most common case heard, probably. Nearly all dormer requests are eventually granted, but the process that's required to receive approval is onerous, expensive, and at times subjective. The petition before you will simplify and standardize the process such that homeowners will be able to add dormers without such unnecessary process. The Community Development Department, Planning Board, and Ordinance Committee have all reviewed and modified this petition. Please approve it without any delay. Thanks.
Thanks for your testimony.
Counselor Azim.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Dan McGuire, followed by Heather Hoffman.
Good evening. My name is Dan McGuire, and I'm the
Excuse
owner.
me, before you take for public comment, Mr. McGuire, he wants to speak to what's a late order, and the late order is in your packet, but I would like to suspend the rules in order to bring that late order forward so he and anyone else that wants to can speak to it. So on suspension of the rules, because we have to have a roll call because Council Wilson's not, is she online?
Counselor Azim.
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern. Yes. Counselor Nolan. Yes. Counselor Siddiqui.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Sabrina Wheeler.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Toner.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Wilson. Absent. Counselor Zusi.
Present.
Present.
Yes.
That was the last vote.
Counselor Zusi. Present.
Yes, she's present.
Mayor Simmons.
Present. I'm going to follow.
Present.
No. Yes. So
Mayor Simmons, do you wish to be recorded as a yes or a present?
As a yes, I'm just
Okay.
messing
All
around,
right.
sorry. I'm trying to get into a holiday mode early. And so the motion to suspend the rules goes forward on the affirmative vote of 8 members. And on bringing that late order forward, roll call, please.
Counselor Azim.
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern. Yes. Counselor Nolan. Yes. Counselor Siddiqui.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Sabrina Wheeler.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Toner. Yes. Counselor Wilson. Absent. Counselor Zusi.
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons.
Yes,
Yes, Madam Mayor, 8 members have voted yes, 1 member is recorded as absent.
thank you. So the policy order is now before us on the affirmative vote of 8 members, 1 recorded as absent. Mr. McGuire, the floor is now yours.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dan McGuire. I'm the owner of Whitney's Bar in Harvard Square. I want to start by thanking the City Council, specifically Mayor Simmons, for hearing the late order regarding the eviction of Whitney's by landlord Gerald Chan. I'm a lifelong Canterbridgian who grew up here and loves the city. And I've left the city for about 4 years at one point and came back because I loved it so much. But I love this city. Whitney's, to me, embodies what I love about Cambridge. We are town and gown. And who comes into Whitney's is everyone from the local residents and merchants to established professors, janitors, working staff of universities and local businesses. To me, Whitney's is the best of Cambridge and what has been in the best of Harvard Square, a place where the town and gown can come together. As a former member of Student School Committee, a class president of CRLS in 1998, I've experienced the importance of the council to all aspects of the city, and that is why I'm here tonight. I thank you for consideration and respectfully request you to vote for this in the affirmative. I always have been fully prepared to negotiate and work with Mr. Chan to keep Whitney's an iconic member of the business community. We are hopeful with a little more time we can work out an issue and will continue to offer Whitney's givings for generations to come. We owe this to the members of the past and of the present, the future, and all those who find Whitney's to be a part of their life. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony. And just for the record, I'll just take a moment just to read what the policy order says for those that may be tuning in and not see it. It reads as follows. Whereas Whitney's Bar, a beloved and iconic dive bar in Harvard Square, has been a fixture in the community since 1953, serving as a welcoming space for a diverse array of patrons, from graduate students to local workers to everyone in between. And whereas Whitney's embodies the character and inclusivity of Harvard Square, offering an atmosphere that is distinct from the increasingly homogenized landscape of chain establishments and upscale businesses that increasingly populate urban districts across the country. And whereas the proposed December 31st eviction of Whitney's and its owner, Dan McGuire, will represent a significant loss of the cultural and social fabric of Harvard Square, and the neighborhood will truly be a lesser place without it. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the City Council formally go on record in acknowledging and honoring Whitney's Bar for its 71 years of service to the community, and in celebrating its importance as a cornerstone of Harvard Square's unique identity for generations. Be it further resolved that the City Council formally go on record in urging owner Gerald Chan to grant a reprieve to Whitney's beyond the December 31st eviction date, to allow for meaningful dialogue and negotiation that could yet preserve this historic establishment. And be it further resolved that the City Clerk be and is hereby requested to forward a suitably engrossed copy of the policy order to Dan McGuire and to Gerald Chan on behalf of the entire City Council. So I just want everyone to know the substance that of the order that may be viewing in. I think each member should have one on their desk. I'll turn this public comment back over to you, Ms. Stefan.
Thank you.
Mr. McGuire, thank you. You can have a seat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Heather Hoffman. Heather, you have 3 minutes. Please go ahead.
Hello, Heather Hoffman. I had not expected to have the opportunity to talk about the only time I was ever in Whitney's Bar, but it was how I got my very first job out of law school. So even though I was miserable there, I do thank Whitney's Bar for creating the opportunity to set that up. And I'm sorry I didn't ever go in after that, but I'm not much of a drinker. Then I wanted to get on to the other things. Roundtable with the school committee, I hope will, in either this time or in a future roundtable, talk about how the city council can make sure that the school buildings throughout Cambridge are up to snuff, so that we don't have schools closed, partly at least because it's said that the building, such as the Kalo, is not worthy of human habitation. I think that we can do better. And then with respect to the city manager's contract, you know, the word that I keep hearing from the city manager especially, but from others as well, is transparency. And I think if you read my letter that's in the communications this week, you will see that transparency is honored far more in the breach than in the observance in Cambridge. So much is being kept from us. And I would also say that the city manager started out being willing to talk to the great unwashed like me. And if he sees me in person, he will say hello and say a few words and be very friendly. But getting him to talk to the people is practically impossible, at least for people like me. And I think that we have far too much going on behind the scenes in Cambridge, and it cannot be that the city manager is unaware of this. And if he is aware and does nothing about it, then that is something that you should be talking to him about in preparing a contract, unless, of course, the city council prefers it that way. And I will leave that to you to decide, since you know your own minds and I don't. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony.
Madam Mayor, that is all who are signed up to speak. However, there's one person with their hand raised in the Zoom who maybe wants to comment on the suspended late item. Peter McLaughlin.
Go for it.
Peter, you are unmuted.
No, I just put my hand up because I could be called for the dormers. That's all.
Okay, sorry, thank you. That is all that were signed up to speak.
Thank you, Ms. Stefan. This concludes public comment, but public comment doesn't close until 6. It's just before that. So we'll continue with our agenda and come back to public comment. The next item is submission of the record. There are 2 sets of minutes. It's the regular City Council meeting of December 2nd, 2024, and the special City Council meeting on December 10th, 2024. Pleasure of the City Council.
Madam Mayor, can I pull number 2?
You pulling the second set?
Yes.
Okay. And on the balance, pleasure of the City Council? On a motion by Councilor Nolan to accept the minutes and place on file, roll call.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson? Absent. Councilor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 8 members are recorded as yes, 1 member is recorded as absent.
And the December 2nd, 2024 minutes are accepted and placed on file by the affirmative vote of 8 members, 1 recorded as absent. The second set of minutes, special City Council meeting on December 10th, 2024, was pulled by Councilor Toner. Councilor Toner, floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules to pull forward policy order number 2, which is that the City Council approve and issue the City Manager's performance evaluation, and policy order number 3, that the City Council intends to renew the City Manager's employment beyond September 5th, 2025, and initiate negotiations for a successor employment contract, which contract, if agreed to, shall become effective September 6th, 2025.
So on a motion by Councilor Toner to suspend the rules to bring forward policy order number 2 and 3, was it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson? Absent. Councilor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 8 members are recorded as yes, 1 member is recorded as absent.
And the rules are suspended, and the policy orders 2 and 3 are now before us. Councilor Toner, floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First of all, I want to thank all my fellow councilors for entrusting me with the role of working on the City Manager's evaluation, and also for all of you submitting your thoughts and scoring a few weeks ago so that we could proceed. On December 10th, there was a robust conversation about the City Manager's evaluation, not that we need to relive it here. And at that, we made a motion to recommend accepting the performance evaluation, so that's policy order number 2. And as a result of the City Manager's contract, we are supposed to give him notice whether we intend to extend his contract, and that needs to be done by January 15th, I think. So I brought policy order number 3 forward. If they both pass, my hope is that we would then, as a City Council, meet in executive session in the next few weeks to discuss what we'd like to see in the City Manager's contract, and also hire outside legal counsel to begin negotiations with the City Manager's representatives. That's all I had to say, and I yield. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councilor Toner yields the floor. What's the pleasure of the City Council? Further discussion? Hearing none. On accepting the minutes of December 10th, 2024, and placing on file, and I think we can take up policy orders 2 and 3 at the same time? No? Okay, so we're going to do the first thing first. On accepting the special City Council minutes of December 10th and placing on file, that's moved by Councilor Toner. Roll call.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson is absent. Councilor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 8 members are recorded as yes, 1 member is recorded as absent.
And the special City Council meeting on December 10th minutes are accepted and placed on file. We'll now, on a motion by Councilor Toner, vote on policy order number 2. Roll call.
On the motion to approve and issue the City Manager's performance evaluation, Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Counsel Nolan? Yes. Counsel Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Wilson? Absent. Counsel Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 8 members are recorded as yes, 1 member is recorded as absent.
Policy order number 2 is approved by the affirmative vote of 8 members, 1 marked as absent. And the last is policy order number 3. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Counsel Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Counsel Nolan? Yes. Counsel Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Wilson? Absent. Counsel Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 8 members are recorded as yes, 1 member is recorded as absent.
And the item is accepted by the affirmative vote of 8 members, 1 recorded as absent. We'll go now to the city manager's agenda. What is the pleasure of the city council? There are
Madam
3
Mayor.
items.
Number 2.
Vice Mayor.
Number 2, please.
Number 2, pleasure of the city council. There's only 3 items. 1 has been pulled. So on number 1, if there's no discussion, roll call.
Counsel Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Counsel Nolan?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Counsel Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Wilson? Absent. Counsel Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 8 members are recorded as yes, 1 member is recorded as absent.
Thank you. So city manager agenda number 1 is approved and placed on file by the affirmative vote of 8 members, 1 recorded as absent. We'll go also now to number 2. This is to refer to the petition ordinance 2024 number 5, Carol item number 2 under unfinished business. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Madam Mayor.
Hold on. Yes.
I'd like to move to suspend the rules and bring forward unfinished business item number 5 regarding the Dorma ordinance. Dorma. My Boston accent came out there for a second. Want to talk about dormers?
Go ahead. I was distracted. What are you saying? Take the beer out of your desk. Stop sipping. Let's start. So, what is your pleasure, Mr. Vice Mayor?
I would like to suspend the rules to bring forward unfinished business item number 5.
On a motion to suspend the rules in order to bring up unfinished business item number 5, roll call.
Counsel Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Nolan? Yes. Counsel Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Wilson is absent. Counsel Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 8 members are recorded as yes, 1 member is recorded as absent.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Before we get to this,
Go ahead.
before we get to discussion, I would also like to move to amend Dormer ordinance language that was passed to a second reading on November 4th, 2024 by substitution with the language provided by city staff that can be found on pages 3, 4, and 5 of the city's response.
On suspension, roll call.
On amending by substitution, Counsel Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Nolan? Yes. Counsel Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Toner? Yes. Counsel Wilson is absent. Counsel Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 8 members are recorded as yes, 1 member is recorded as absent.
And the matter is approved by the affirmative vote of 8 members, 1 being absent. Vice Mayor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So now the amended version is in front of us. I don't have really much to say other than thank you for getting the response back to us. I'm ready to approve this tonight, but I don't know if others have questions.
Discussion? Council Nolan.
Thank you so much, Mayor Simmons, and to the staff. This is exciting that we're being here, and to the BZA who brought this forward from their review. As we heard in public comment, this ends up taking a lot of time, and it is something we should be allowing across the district. I'm happy to see the amendments. I think they clarified some really important items, including especially separating the dormer section from other additions to make it clear the petition is for a very specific construction style, as articulated by the BZA chair during ordinance committee. It does seem to me that some of the language is still too restrictive, specifically on the lengths. Why would we want to regulate the overall length of a dormer as well as set back from the end? So to just remind my colleagues and the public, the memo from CDD does include on the overarching discussion of what this is that I'm quoting from it, in the ordinance committee discussions, councilors discussed whether the length limitation is necessary. The city council could delete that provision by deleting subparagraph 3 and renumbering subsequent paragraphs. What currently right now it's subparagraph 3 under I says that the total length of all dormers on any story of the building shall not exceed half the length of the roof on that same facade. And it just seems to me, why not just let the dormer be as big as it needs to be, especially because there is a limitation in length, which is number 4 currently. If we remove number 3, will become number 3, specifies that each dormer shall be set back a minimum of 3 feet 6 inches from the roof at the gable ends, which means on both sides. So it seems to me that if we want to encourage or allow dormers of any length, it shouldn't matter to us whether it's the half the length or penalize someone who happens to have a long gable line or roof line, I don't know how you describe it, and that we would still have the setbacks. It would just mean that they could put even more living space under a dormer. So I would, and again, the law department gives us the instruction about if we so choose to do that, how we would amend it. I personally not even sure we need the 3 foot 6 inch setbacks from each end, but it's in there, and CDD amended it to align with design guidelines, so that could make sense. But I would like to propose or hear from the staff whether this is a problem. The memo does anticipate that we could do this, and other than that, I'd be happy to vote this tonight. I also want to make a note. I was very glad to see the reduction in the window requirements from 50% to 30%. That is much more in line with our goals as a city that are articulated elsewhere in good design principles, to have it be required to be 30%. I don't totally understand why we would forbid windows at either end of a dormer, because windows are fine by me. I can live with that, but I would love for the length to be addressed.
Mr. City Manager, do you want to answer or refer that to
Madam Mayor, do we want to ask Mr. Monteverdi maybe to come up from the zoning museum?
That you wish? Is Mr. Monteverdi still here? Mr. Monteverdi, would you come forward? There's a question from the floor that you might want to give your opinion on.
Surprise.
Bring the mic close to your face.
Yep.
Have you heard the question, or you need it repeated?
I did. No, I heard the question.
Very good. Your response, please.
Our intention when the board drafted the initial petition was really to carry the language that's in the current dormer guidelines into our petition. And those, I think, that's where the length comes from. And it's really and that I understand, and also when we had our discussions with the Historic Commission and the Planning Board, that those entities also agreed that it was a positive element to constrain the dormers to a limited size, 15 foot or half the length of the roof, and not to allow it to be, I think, as what could come from the suggestion is really the entire length of a roof, that it's really not the same residential feel as that residential and neighborhood feel to it. It's strictly based on that.
Counselor?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I have walked around the city the last few weeks and looked at things, and I think the addition of number 7, which is the eave of the existing roof should be continuous across the length, also pulls it back. And again, the 3.5 feet on each end pull it back, so it would preserve the residential character of the houses. There's also, for a house that is not very deep, it means that their dormer could be quite limited to 10 or 15 feet instead of having really a usable to be able to fit 1 or 2 bedrooms in their house, which is what a dormer would allow. More living space. Often families use this in order to provide living space for their families if they have a small unit. So I respect that there's some folks who wanted to preserve the neighborhood character. I think with those 2 other elements of having 3.5 feet from each end, in addition to having the eave of the existing roof continuous across the length of the wall below any dormer, seems to me to preserve that. So I would, in the spirit of being in favor of allowing folks to have a dormer large enough along the length of their roof, it would then provide them with the ability to create more living space under their roofs, which is what a dormer does. So I appreciate the response and would be in favor of just removing that paragraph so that we can control it by other means.
Discussion? Council Toner?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll just say that I agree with Council Nolan. I would love to give people the most flexibility in terms of the size of dormer they want so that they don't have to go through, too much process with the BZA. So I would be supportive of the more expansive language. Thank you. I yield.
Further discussion? Councilor Zuzzi?
I would defer to the recommendation of the Historic Commission, who I think are thinking about design guidelines, and I agree, we had dormers added to our house, and they provided more space, more light, but I hesitate to change what was agreed upon by the Board of Zoning Appeals and the Historical Commission without consulting them as well. I yield.
If I may.
Councilor Zuzzi yields the floor. Mr. Monteverde, did you want to say something else?
Yeah, please.
Yes,
One
the
other
floor is
thought.
yours.
That the way that the petition is written currently, if that 50% of the roof length were to remain, wouldn't prohibit anyone from coming forward and wanting to do a larger dormer. They would just have to do it back to the board. And we've certainly seen those before. Those have been, depending on the context, they've been either approved or modified. So again, I don't think that would stop anyone from or leaving the dormer length in the ordinance the way we've suggested. Wouldn't stop anyone from being able to do that. They just wouldn't be able to do that as of right. They would need a variance or a special permit to do that. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Monteverde. Councilor Z?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to say that I'm in full agreement with my colleagues and would support a motion if they put one motion forward, Councilor Nolan and Councilor Toner.
Is there discussion, and are people aware of what it is that Councilor Nolan and Toner are speaking to? Because I don't have any language. So, could you please restate what you are proposing, Councilor?
Yes, Mayor Simmons. Per the legal memo of saying if the council wanted to do this, that the advice is the council delete provision section, 8.22.1I3, delete that entirely, and that means that what is currently 4, 5, 6, and 7 would then become 3, 4, 5, 6.
Councilor Nolan is proposing that we delete provision 8.22.1I3. Is there any discussion? Any more discussion? Hearing none. Roll call on the amendment.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Nolan?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson is absent. Councilor Zusi?
No.
No. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 7 members are recorded as yes. 1 member. Councilor Wilson, do you wish to vote on that matter? Councilor Wilson? Madam Mayor, 7 members are recorded as yes, 1 member is recorded as no, and 1 member is recorded as absent.
So the amendment passes on the affirmative vote of 7, 1 recorded as absent, 1 recorded as a no.
Madam Mayor?
Vice Mayor?
So just a question through you to the clerk. So prior to that amendment, I was going to move that we ordain the ordinance, but now CDD is going to have to go back and make that revision. So just to give folks a sense of the timeline, this expires on January 19th. We have a roundtable. We're going to have a roundtable on the 13th. so it won't be a regular meeting. So we do have, the latest we could ordain this prior to expiration would be the 6th.
So according, Mr. Vice Mayor, the clerk suggested that if you wanted, you could ordain and she could then change the language. I don't know if that's, I would be defer to, from a legal perspective, I get nods of affirmation, but Ms. Solicitor Bear, do you want to speak to that, just so that we can have it on the record, confirming what the clerk is saying?
To you, Madam Mayor, I do agree with the clerk that the council could ordain the amended version today.
Okay, so with that, Madam Mayor, I would move that we ordain the Dormer Ordinance number 2024, number 9 as amended.
Mayor Simmons?
Councilor Nolan.
Just, do we need, does the renumbering automatically happen, or do we have to, is
Well, I
that
think
just
they
a
can figure
clerical
out the
thing?
numbers.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you. Any other discussion on this? So, on a motion by the Vice Mayor to ordain as amended, roll call.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 9 members are recorded as yes.
The matter is ordained as amended by the affirmative vote of 9 members.
Madam Mayor,
Vice
lastly,
Mayor, yes.
I'd like to move to place the city manager agenda item 266 on file.
On placing City Manager's agenda item number 266 on file, is there discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 9 members are recorded as yes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I believe our last item of business is City Manager's agenda number 5. Communication from Yan Wong, City Manager, relative to the Planning Board report regarding flexible parking zoning petition. Discussion, it's number 260. Hearing none, roll call.
On the motion to refer to petition, Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 9 members are recorded as yes.
And the item is so referred on the affirmative vote of 9 members. We move now to policy orders and resolutions. There are 4. What is the pleasure of the City Council?
Madam Mayor, number 4.
Pleasure of the City Council. That only leaves number 1. Hearing none on number 1, the round table for January 13th to 2024. Roll call, please.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson? Councilor Wilson? Yes.
Yes.
Councilor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 9 members are recorded as yes.
And policy order 157 is adopted by the affirmative vote of 9 members. We move now to number 4. This is pulled by Councilor Toner. It's on memorials and dedications. This is pulled by Councilor Toner. Councilor Toner, you may have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to give a brief explanation on this, I think a number of us have talked about revamping the process for street corner and bench dedications in the past. I know it's come up a number of times since I've been here. In providing some recommendations to the dedication committee and in discussion with my co-sponsors, we actually came to the conclusion that we should consider ending the traditional process of naming street corners for all the reasons listed here. We would still process the 30 that are in the queue, so if any that were already recommended and approved by the council in the past, the dedication committee will move forward in processing those for consideration. But there also have been, requests and ideas for other ways of remembering and memorializing Cambridge citizens. And we wanted to have a fuller discussion about what that would look like and how we would move forward with that. So We're asking for a moratorium on the traditional process. The current 30 in the queue will be processed, and the Government Operations and Civic Unity Committee will hold hearings and work with the city manager to come up with a new method of memorializing our residents based on whatever new criteria and things that we come up with. And that's it. I yield, Madam Mayor.
Councilor Toner yields the floor. Discussion? Councilor Nolan.
Thank you so much, Mayor Simmons. I had a question, if I may, through you to whoever can best answer this. Would the expectation be after these meetings are held to come back to the council with some recommendations? Because right now the council does have this authority, and I'm happy to put a pause on. I do think there's a question of how many street corners are even left, and it certainly comes up. It also comes up to why can't we do a tree? Why can't we do a bench? So I'm really happy to see this policy order. Thank you, Councilor Toner, Mayor Simmons, and Councilor Zuzzi for sponsoring it. I'm just wanting to clarify and make sure that something will then come back to the council so we can all participate. I know it'll be in committee hearings, but to let the public know this will be something that will eventually be decided, presumably by the council in conjunction with the city.
That is the intent of the policy order.
Further discussion? Councilor Zuzzi, do you want to speak to this at all? Anyone else? Councilor Wilson, do you want to speak to this policy order?
No, Madam Mayor, thank you.
Then we'll go forward with the vote. Vote by Councilor Toner for adoption. Roll call.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zuzzi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 9 members are recorded as yes.
And the matter is adopted by the affirmative vote of 9 members. You don't have to leave. You could stay if you like. The next item is the calendar. All these items, the only item we could have taken action on has been disposed of, so we're going to move to communications. There's 372. What is the pleasure of the City Council?
Move to place on file. I was being good, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And waive the reading? Oh, thank you. So on a motion by the Vice Mayor to place on file the 372 communications, is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner? Yes. Councilor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zuzzi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 9 members are recorded as yes.
And the communications are placed on file by the affirmative vote of 9 members. We move now to resolutions. There are 3. What is the pleasure of the City Council?
Mayor Simmons.
Councilor Nolan.
Number 2.
Pleasure of the City Council.
Move adoption, making unanimous.
On a
upon
motion
adoption.
by the Vice Mayor to move the adoption of policy order number 1 and wishing former Councilor Toomey a swift recovery, and number 2, which is honoring John
Tagari?
Better you than I. Is there any discussion? Hearing none on the adoption of resolutions number 1 and 3, making them unanimous upon adoption. Roll call, please.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner? Yes. Councilor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zuzzi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 9 members are recorded as yes.
And the 2 resolutions are adopted and made unanimous on adoption by the affirmative vote of 9 members. We go back now to number 2. This is pulled by Councilor Nolan. Reads as follows. Congratulations to Zainab Magavi on being named a Bostonian of the Year by the Boston Globe for her work as a climate innovator. This was pulled by Councilor Nolan. Councilor Nolan is the lead sponsor. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor Simmons. I thought it was appropriate for this council, and thank you, Mayor Simmons, Councilor Siddiqui, and Wilson for co-sponsoring this. For this amazing recognition, I brought in the Globe magazine to see Zainab Magavi lauded. As a climate innovator, heat cannot be underestimated for the work that it's done over the last 15 years, first identifying gas leaks and having an entire statewide campaign that became central to the state's work on climate in conjunction with Mothers Out Front, and then more recently, the geothermal pilot in Framingham, really sitting down and having the utilities come to the table for their innovative solution of a district energy pilot that's going on, which the city is also about to embark on, having just signed a contract for a feasibility study on it. So I'm just thrilled that other people recognize yet another stellar Cambridge. We have a lot of stars in Cambridge, and HEAT is a stellar organization, and Zainab has been a really humble and understated leader of an organization and just bringing together her team in a way that she will never draw attention to herself. So it's quite wonderful that others have brought her forward. So I'm just thanking her for her work, thanking all of her team and all of the people she has managed to pull into this, including much of the council as we move forward with some of our own climate work.
Council Nolan yields the floor for the discussion. Hearing none on adoption, making it unanimous upon adoption. Madam Clerk.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes, Madam Mayor. 9 members are recorded as yes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We're going to go back. The time of closing public comment having passed, I'll entertain a motion to close public comment. On a motion by the Vice Mayor to close public comment, roll call, please.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes, Madam Mayor. 9 members are recorded as yes.
Thank you. And the matters are adopted on the affirmative vote of 9 members. We move now to committee reports. There are 12. Public Safety Committee, September 24, 2019. Public Safety Committee, October 30th, 2019. Public Safety Committee, December 17, 2019. Housing Committee, March 3rd, 2020. Neighborhood and Long-Term Planning, Public Facilities, Arts and Celebrations Committee, October 14, 2020. Housing Committee, October 28, 2020. Neighborhood and Long-Term Planning, Public Facilities, Arts and Celebrations Committee, March 4, 2021. Public Safety Committee, June 22, 2021. Public Safety Committee, July 28, 2021. Human Services and Veterans Committee, November 6, 2024. And Ordinance Committee, December 3rd, 2024. It says must be pulled.
Madam Mayor? Pull number 12, please.
So number 12, we are pulling on the balance. Any discussion?
Mayor Simmons?
Councilor Nolan.
I just move that we accept all 1 through 11, accept the report and place them out, and thank the clerk's office for getting us up to speed. I know most of these happened during COVID when there was not minutes being produced, so I fully respect and appreciate that this is catching us up and also explaining why it was that this is seeming like of a backlog that I know during COVID there was some disruption in our usual
Ebb and flow
operations.
Mm-hmm. Any other discussion? Hearing none on accepting the reports and placing on file. Madam Clerk.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes, Madam Mayor. 9 members are recorded as yes.
And the 11 committee reports are accepted and placed on file by the affirmative vote of 9 members. We're not going to go back to Ordinance Committee, December 3rd, 2024.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to move that we pass the Cycling and Safety Ordinance as amended to a second reading.
Discussion. Hearing none, roll call.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes, Madam Mayor. 9 members are recorded as yes.
And the matter is adopted by the move to a second reading on the affirmative vote of 9 members.
And Madam Mayor, can we accept and place the committee report on file?
Discussion? Hearing none, on accepting the report and placing on file. Madam Clerk.
Counselor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Nolan? Yes. Counselor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 9 members are recorded as yes.
And the report is accepted and placed on file by the affirmative vote of 9 members. Move now to communications and reports from other city officers. There's one, it's from our clerk, and it's transmitting an update regarding legislative activity. Pleasure of the City Council. On a motion by someone, Councilor Siddiqui. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Counselor Azim?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Yes. Counselor Nolan? Yes. Yes. Counselor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Toner? Yes. Counselor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 9 members are recorded as yes.
And the communication is placed on file by the affirmative vote of 9 members. We'll now go to late resolutions. This has already been brought before us, so the question now is to entertain a motion to adopt. Any discussion?
Madam Mayor?
The Vice Mayor and then to Councilor Nolan.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So, I appreciate this late order. And, I know that there's little official that the City Council can do in a private sort of real estate matter like this. And I'm sure there are things that, that go on behind the scenes that we don't have all the information on. But I would just say that, Mr. Chan owns a lot of property in the city. When I think of Harvard Square, I think of the 2 that jump to mind are the theater, the Harvard Square Theater on Church Street, and Dixon Brothers. The theater has sat vacant for 10 years. Dixon Brothers for, I think, 4. And, that's foregoing a whole lot of rent and money to Mr. Chan. And I would just hope that what we hear in the reports that, this is about roughly $40,000, which in the scheme of things is peanuts in Mr. Chan's portfolio, that he would come back to the table with this local business institution, one of the few places in Harvard Square that from a bygone era, and figure out a way to make this work. I'm not saying who's right and who's wrong. I don't know, but I know that Whitney's is really a valued institution in this city. And again, in terms of the Chan portfolio, $40,000 is really not a lot of money, and to go to go to war over at this institution. There's got to be a better way to do this. So I thank you. I'd be happy to join the order, and I just really encourage Mr. Chan to come to the table and figure this out. Thank you,
Madam Mayor.
First Councilor Nolan, then to you, Councilor Toner. And there's an amendment on the floor, so we need to discharge that. So are you going to talk to the amendment he wants? Vice Mayor's asked to be add. I'm sorry, please?
I wanted to talk about it in general.
Okay, but let's discharge the amendment. Any question around the amendment or adding the Vice Mayor as a co-sponsor? Hearing none, roll call.
Madam Mayor?
Oh, Jesus, yes.
Sorry, if I can also, since we're doing the amendments of adding, could I also be added to the order as well?
Yes.
Thank you.
So on an amendment by Councilor Wilson and the Vice Mayor to be added to this late resolution. If there's no discussion, roll call.
Counselor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Yes. Counselor Nolan?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 9 members are recorded as yes.
Thank you. Now, the amended policy order is in front of us. Councilor Nolan and then Councilor Toner.
Thank you, Mayor Simmons. I very much appreciate this intent of this policy order and the testimony we heard about a really beloved institution and the challenge of, we know that the last few years have been really, really difficult for retail across the city. However, I will be voting present on this because I cannot support it because we got an email, which is a matter of public record now, from the property owner's lawyer suggesting that a long timeline of ways in which legal settlements were signed, a legal agreement to vacate the space on the part of Whitney's, that 2 different times, and that I completely agree and understand this amount of money is not something that certainly the property owner would necessarily miss. However, for me, since I don't know the full story, to go against and suggesting that a court order that was signed by someone is something we are seeking to overturn, that's what's uncomfortable for me to do that. That this is something that the timeline that presented to us, if it's true, is that over the last 4 years, really, there was a forgiving of rent for many, many months, and then a reduction of rent to 30% of what it had been, to really working out several different ways. So again, I'm not taking a stand on the particular issue, but what I am saying is that it's hard for me to vote in favor of something when there's a signed agreement. So I want to explain why it was that I will be voting present.
Thank you. Council Nolan yields the floor. Council Toner.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First, I just want to say I will be voting for it, but I am a little bit reluctant to vote for it. I do want to support a local businessman and a small business, especially one that's been in operation for 71 years. And I appreciate the mayor's hope springs eternal attitude. Hopefully both parties can come to the table and have a conversation. I know, Mr. McGuire, you're in the audience, and I'm not going to address you directly, but I know that you can't control everything people say, but I would encourage the people who are supporting Mr. McGuire to stop making comments like you should hire Luigi, to take care of the problem. That's very unfortunate and not good. So I realize that Mr. McGuire, I'm sure, doesn't support that, and I would encourage people who want to support him not to be saying those kinds of things. And I would hope that, Mr. McGuire, you might consider taking the email and phone number of Mr. Chan and his company out of the window, because if you want to get a civil conversation with them, it might help to move things along. So with that, I will be voting yes. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Council Toner yields the floor. Is there further discussion? Council Wilson, discussion?
No, Madam Mayor. I think Council Toner said a lot. I definitely support this business, and Mr. McGuire is a dear friend of mine, and really want to see that there's some resolution here. Just given the rich history and recognizing that, we want to keep businesses thriving in all of our squares, and especially one with such a long, rich history. So I look forward to further discussion on this in the future, and really just hope that all parties can come together and find a resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Wilson yields the floor. I just want to acknowledge my co-makers and thank them for their support. I'm not at the table of all the negotiations, so I wrote this in the spirit of, as my colleague Council Toner says, hope springs eternal. I'm always saying you don't give up until you have to give up, and so I've made it clear in the writing of this policy order, saying come back to the table. We've made those kinds of sentiments when people have been kind and not so kind to one another. I think the council, through Council Wilson and Council Toner, has said and advised the renter owner to be a little less vocal about their opinions or feelings, so that they can have an earnest conversation at the table. Hopefully, the person that is regarded in this, the owner, will take a kinder view. I certainly, as someone that loves history, this is no secret, and as the community changes, these institutions and the history that they have about them go away. And so for Harvard Square, that is getting, and this is not a criticism, it's just a fact, getting more and more upscale. Any opportunity we have that we can hold on to just a good old regular place to go, I think it's something that we should at least raise our voices for. So I thank my colleagues. I appreciate those that are having a dissenting view, but I do appreciate my colleagues that are standing to support this. Vice Mayor, the floor is
Madam Mayor,
yours.
thank you. Just sort of, in general, when these things, when we see businesses that, beloved businesses that have been around a while, shut down for whatever reason, there's lots of different reasons. There's this outpouring of, this is terrible, this is horrible, and one of the questions I often ask people is, when was the last time you were there? When Riles closed, someone came to see me, I was mayor at the time, and asked for me to intervene and stop this sale. And I said, I can't stop a private sale. When was the last, you must go to Riles a lot. We go once a year. So all the folks that are outpouring in support of Whitney's, go buy a beer and frequent it. And for all our local businesses, we complain when they go out of business, but then you ask people, and they're like, no, I go to Home Depot, I don't go to Massey's. I go to some large chain and not, and not Whitney. So please visit your local businesses, spend your money there. Thank you.
Vice Chair yields the floor, but you did raise something that made me think. Just not too long ago, we all stood together, at least I believe we did, on raising our voices around boomerangs leaving. And I guess it had some little bit of work of positive energy, because now we have boomerangs more than books. So yes, Councilor Toner, hope is springing eternal, and I'm hoping that if this policy order goes forward and gets forwarded to Mr. Chan, he will take another look at this opportunity to allow this time-tested business to stay in Harvard Square. So if there's no Council Siddiqui, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor Simmons. I appreciate the comments from my colleagues. I think, Councilor Toner, you said it well in that, I definitely want to support local businesses. I can't condone any of the what's being, sent to us, that there's been personal threats and other things. So I want to be on the record saying, I think we're all very much against any of those tactics, and we sincerely hope that if there can be a meeting of the minds again, because it seems there's been conversations already with attorneys involved, but if folks can come together, certainly definitely support that, but wanted to just reiterate that point. So thank you.
Councilor Siddiqui yields the floor for the discussion. Councilor Zine.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I certainly support local businesses, and happy to support this policy order tonight. I did want to say that, as someone who does not know the individuals personally, I think that, it is an act of faith that, between the proponents of this, who introduced this, and the business owners themselves, that, certainly every time a small business, that's especially one that's been here for a long time, comes forward, we want to support them, especially in negotiations. But also to say that, I feel like I'm also taking a leap of faith that everyone is acting with good faith here. And so just wanted to say that as, someone who doesn't know everyone personally involved, but happy to vote in favor of small businesses in general. Thank you.
Councilor Zine yields the floor. Any further comments? Hearing none, I would take roll call. Say again? I want to make one small amendment. In the last resolve, it says policy order. We want to change that to resolution. Is there any discussion? Okay, on changing the last resolved, roll call.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Councilor Nolan? Yes. Councilor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Toner? Yes. Councilor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 9 members are recorded as yes.
Thank you. On the policy order as amended.
Councilor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Councilor Nolan? Present. Counselor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Toner?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 8 members are recorded as yes, 1 member is recorded as present.
Thank you. And the resolution passes on the affirmative vote of 8 members, 1 voting present. So the resolution is going forward. And just in closing, I would say to Mr. McGuire, policy order, the resolution has passed, but I also want you to be mindful of the remarks of the council to soften one's approach. We think that it might work better for all parties involved. Very good. Are there any late policy orders?
There are no additional late items, Madam Mayor.
There's no additional late items. Any announcements? There's going to be an event Wednesday from 3 to 5 at the La Fabrica, so I'm hoping all will attend. It's a little bit of holiday cheer. I'll tell you about it later, Councilor Nolan. Take the quizzical look off your face. Any other announcements? Pleasure of the City Council.
Move to adjourn.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none. On a motion to Councilor Siddiqui moves, we adjourn. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Counselor Azim?
Yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor McGovern? Yes. Counselor Nolan? Yes. Counselor Siddiqui?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Sabrina Wheeler?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Toner? Yes. Counselor Wilson?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zusi?
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Simmons?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Mayor, 9 members are recorded as yes.
And our meeting is adjourned by the affirmative vote of 9 members.
When I was on the phone with you, this is all I could paste back together of my notes.
That's why I got a cat.